In this video, guys, I want to talk about the 10 reasons why I became a $1 million trader and others around me failed, and the things that I did to ensure that I succeed, and then the things that I saw other traders do that caused them to fail miserably. Okay, so I want to start back and I want to share these stories with you because it'll help you understand the path that someone goes on to become a $1 million trader. Okay, and it's not just in crypto, it's in any market. Okay, so I don't want you guys to think that this is only related to cryptocurrency trading only. I'm going to start from the beginning when I first learned about cryptocurrency. Okay, I first learned about cryptocurrency. The first time that I learned about trading in general. Okay, I learned about trading in the mid-90s. I heard about it. I got exposed to it by some traders when I was in. Many of you guys know that I grew up in the ghetto and I was in prison for drugs before. And in the mid-90s, while I was in prison, that was when I saw some guys, some white guys, talk about trading and investing. Coffee, beans, wheat, corn, stuff that I actually knew what it was. It's a good thing they didn't talk about like trading stocks or anything like that, because at that time, that was just way beyond my head, because many of you guys know I grew up in the ghetto and I dropped out of high school, I dropped out of college. So I saw these commodities traders, these guys learning about commodity trading. I spent some time throughout the 90s helping them chart line charts and graphs and everything. And they did not, I really didn't take it seriously back then. I just got exposed to it. And the reason why I did it, because I thought, these white guys were the only guys that I knew of that were making money while we were in prison, and I didn't know anybody else that was able to make money on the outside, from the outside while they were locked up on the inside. And that's why I pursued it. And I always growing up in the ghetto, all my black friends and Hispanic friends, none of them had money. So we always had this belief in the ghetto that only white people can make money. So here I am watching some white guys make money while the rest of us was all broke in prison. Okay, so fast forward many years later, it wasn't until 2000 and early 2005. Okay, I first I met this guy, this entrepreneur from the Bahamas. His name was Joe Su. Okay, and that's his real name too. So Joe Su from the Bahamas, he was a businessman, he was an investor, a trader, and things like that. And he exposed me to a book called Rich Dad, Poor Dad, and it helped me to realize that, in order for me to make money and be I need to be educated. I need to learn the financial vocabulary, and I need to learn the vocabulary of making money. Okay, so at that time, based on the Rich Dad, Poor Dad book, I started to dive into learning about how to trade stocks and how to invest in stocks and how to invest in real estate. Okay, later on, I did not have enough money to trade, to invest in stocks. So I got released from prison in 2006. Okay, in May of 2006 was when I got released from federal prison in the United States of America. Okay, and what happened was when I got out, I never let go of my dream I never let go of my dream of being a trader, an investor. Right? I wanted to always, because I spent all my life doing manual labor. I might not be the expert trader that I want to be, right? But I am definitely the expert when it comes to blue-collar labor, because I grew up working in the fruit and vegetable fields in the state of Oregon. I grew up working in the sweatshops in the state of Texas. I grew up working in the boat docks and the shipyards on commercial fishing boats in the state of Texas. So I am an expert when it comes to manual labor, okay? Because I've done that the majority of my life from sun up till sundown, okay? So the first thing that I did to become a $1 million trader was I got educated. I started reading books about trading, and during that time, in 2005, 2006, around that period of time, I pretty much read every book that I could imagine about trading. Okay, that was the start. Okay, unfortunately, almost every one of those books, except for 2 books, were garbage. They were all written by traders who could not make $1 million. Okay, they were all written by people who could talk trading, but they could not actually make $1 million from trading. Okay, but at that time, since I was a beginner, I did not know that. I did not know that because whenever you talk to someone that's a trader, you really don't know if they are lying to you, they are telling the truth, if they're bullshitting you or not. Okay, even when you're watching this video right now, you see the title, that I'm saying that, the 10 things I did to become a $1 million trader, and you can even think that I'm full of shit myself. Okay, and then there's nothing wrong with that. Okay, and as I go through this video, I'll explain to you guys how to tell the truth and determine if someone is or isn't. Okay, so the first thing that I did was to get educated. Right, I started reading books, and even if they were bad books, the thing was I got educated, and it gave me the financial vocabulary. I started to know what a line chart was, what a bar chart was. I started to understand what a candlestick chart was. I started to understand what different indicators were, different oscillators, different momentum indicators, different price action, different chart patterns, different technical analysis ways of looking at it. Matter of fact, I read a book that was complete garbage. It's called A Technical Analysis Explained. It's about the size of a Houston phone book or a Dallas phone book, and I read that several times, from the first page all the way to the end of the second page. And the math that was in there, I try to follow along, do the math by hand and everything. And what I found out was that, now that I'm a profitable trader, right, I found out that book is just complete garbage, it's a complete waste of time. And at that time I didn't know it. I just, since I was a high school dropout and a college dropout, I just figured, the more that I read it, the more I can understand. Whoever wrote this thick ass book must know what they're doing, because how else would they be able to write this whole book? And what I didn't know at that time was that just because someone's able to write a book that's, this thick, that's thicker than a Coke can, right, a soda pop can, just because they can write that doesn't mean they can actually do it in the real world. I had no concept of that back then. Okay, so when I got out of prison in May of 2006, right, the first thing I did was I wanted to get back on my feet, and I was working several jobs, just miscellaneous jobs that paid minimum wage, because I was a high school dropout, and because, I was a drug felon, and because I had no college education, I could not ask for a lot of high-paying jobs. Nobody was willing to give me that, right? So I just went and worked as a bouncer. I worked as a club promoter. I worked any jobs that, most of them did not pay very much. They just paid like $1 or $2 above the minimum wage in the U.S. And at that time, I think the minimum, I got paid like $10-11 an hour in the U.S. Okay, and that's not very much money. If any girls hear you saying that you make $10-12 an hour, $11 an hour, they look the other way. It doesn't matter how cute and sexy or how smart you think you are. They just go look for some other guys. Okay, so so I decided every dollar that I saved up at that time, I went and got educated. I went to different Rich Dad Poor Dad seminars, to workshops. Any workshop, any meetup in town, I just went and got educated in it, right? And most of the people that go to those seminars and those workshops, most of them were like beginners like myself. They did not know how to trade. They did not know how to invest in anything, or if they did, they wouldn't be there. That's just the reality of it, guys. Okay, one lesson you got to know is that when you go to these seminars, these workshops and everything, the people that are there, if they knew it, they wouldn't be there. You are not going to catch me at a free trading workshop, a free trading seminar, a $10,000, $20,000, $50,000 trading seminar. You will not catch me in any of those things. Okay, I'll be teaching it, but you ain't gonna catch me being an attendant or an attendee in any one of those, because I already went past that level. Okay, I'm beyond that, so that's why I don't need to do that. Okay, the people that I learn from, it costs significantly more to do that. Okay, matter of fact, where our team is at today, it sucks where we're at, because there's not too many people at our level or above our level for us to learn from. So we have to experiment and do the research ourselves, and that costs a lot of time and money. But I'll get to that in a different video. So the first thing, right, is to get educated, right?